What's going on, Joes? Welcome to another episode of Kingdom of Nerds, Sunday edition, Between the Covers.
Happy Sunday. Happy
Happy
Sunday.
Sunday. How was your weekend?
Lazy. I felt sick Saturday, so I basically slept all day. So kind of a one-day weekend for me.
Yeah, I ended up going to a party, had a few drinks, played some VR. Fun times, fun times.
Yeah, I like a good lazy slow weekend though. It's I like doing nothing.
Nice.
Nice and relaxing. Weather got nice today, so that was nice for a change.
Yeah, it was like 50 degrees here. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, it got almost up to 60 here, so I was happy. A little bit of sun, got a little yard work done today. I was happy.
I ended up hanging out with Sticks for a little bit yesterday. That was fun. Hung out with him and his son at the comic shop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
how was the LCS?
It was pretty good. I love going there. The guy's pretty great. He has some really good stories. I'm probably gonna go back and have a total sit down interview with him because he's been in the comic book game a long time.
There seems to be anymore only really good comic shops and really shitty comic shops. I very rarely run into any in betweens anymore.
No, there's no in between. It's either you hate these people and you don't want to go in, or you want to go there every day.
Yeah, either you get people repricing books at the counter, or don't know what the hell they're talking about, or you get people that have been in it for years and years and love it still, and actually take the time to care about the customers.
Yeah, it's the comic book shop is Funky Town Comics and Vinyl in Syracuse, New York. Got owners Jeff. Pretty awesome. They have their own Whatnot. It's called Crispy Toys on Whatnot. And the cool thing about it, when I win stuff and Whatnot from them, they'll hold it in the store, and I can just go in and pick it up. So that's pretty cool.
Convenient.
Yeah, it's safe.
I hate sending shit in the mail. I mean, getting stuff in the mail anymore. Everything
Perp.
It's destroyed all the time. It's always a complete shit show. I never know whether my stuff's going to be left in the wet grass near the mailbox or actually put on my porch.
It kind of sucks that they're like 40 miles away, but at the same time, it keeps you from going in there every day.
Yeah, my closest LCS I have to me is it's close to 30 miles away, and it's not that great of an LCS. So I don't hit brick and mortars that often. Plus, they don't have much in the way of back issues. It's just like everything from the past year and a half that they've just thrown into short boxes. They're still selling a cover.
He was telling me that they got a new collection and he has some sealed those collector's packs from Marvel and DC that he's gonna give me first crack at when he goes through them. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, buddy."
That's always fun.
It is
fun.
Oh man. Oh, let me just show you what I picked up from there.
Oh, what we got?
Oh. Well, I picked up Duke because my Dukes were ruined from Midtown. So I picked up the A cover.
Some clean copies.
Some clean copies and the B cover. I love this B copy. Reminds me of the animation.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were critical of it.
I like it.
That's what it is.
Picked up another Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh, can't go wrong with gold keys. I love picking up old gold keys when I find them.
Oh, so great. Picked up a newsstand Superman versus Lobo, Superman Adventure Special.
Nice. Oh, I like the little misery in space at the bottom. Little pun.
A little Golden Age Voyage. Golden? Silver. I don't know. Golden? Might be. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Might be silver. Probably silver.
Yeah, I think that's late. There's early silver. Gold key.
Yep. And I got a very, very nice copy of Teen Titans #3.
Nice. That's a winner.
Yeah, this was like the best. And then in the mail, I got another copy of Shazam, Power Shazam #4, a DCU variant. I have one already, but mine's just crappy. so I had to grab.
Nice.
They don't come up that often.
It's a good Mary Marvel cover anyway, regardless of it being a DCU cover. It's a nice Mary Marvel cover.
What do you got?
Not too much. I got some. I got Kilchella, little Lotte cover.
Oh, nice.
Found this cheap Hot Shots Domino. It's $125.
I like that.
Let's see. I showed these for Friday, but I'll show them again. I got Where Monsters Dwell 11.
Oh, that's a good copy.
Nice. It's a nice Ditko cover. Yeah, it's real clean.
Yeah.
It's should be in the nines, low nines. Then I always show flops because I love flops, and I will always promote his work. Nice.
That's a lot of cake back there.
Yeah, that's the way we like them. Yeah, Flops is putting together a comic of his own, I believe, this year, so that'll be fun.
Huh. Nice. So I have actually I saw a few news topics that I'm like, ooh, let's talk about this. So Brock Lesnar has been removed from the WWE game amid uncertainty over his future.
Right.
So a little backlash from rumors about allegations with him, and Vince McMahon is having a little backlash, which is to be expected.
Yes, it's to be expected. It's the reactionary things that happen when this stuff comes out. So
yeah, I really like Brock Lesnar as a wrestler.
Yeah, I kind of walked away from wrestling a long time ago. It just, I don't know. It's a big soap opera. It's a big boy soap opera.
Yeah, I've seen so many people online getting upset about The Rock, and I'm just like, that's how it was written, to get you upset at The Rock. He's the ultimate heel. He's always been the heel.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of fell out of it all. It all kind of got kind of boring and redundant. I was a big fan when I was a kid, and up into my teens, I enjoyed watching it. But I don't know. It just got to be too big, too crazy, too much.
Yeah, I had stopped watching wrestling probably like late 90s, so I missed the whole Attitude Era and all that crap. And then COVID hit. I'm like sitting around, and my friend's nephew watched wrestling like every day. This wrestling like on every day. I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah.
And I started getting into it, and just like, it's the same storylines from like 30 years ago. It really is.
Yeah. You have a big hero, take a heel turn, come back. Lose a match, come back. It is what it is. I don't know. I liked it in the 80s a lot because I kind of liked the cheesy production quality and the cheesiness of it. I found that hilarious. But it started to get kind of too polished.
Yeah.
But you still had the bad acting. But it was but the production quality was polished, and I don't know, the disconnect there kind of just after a while.
I was watching the Royal Rumble last weekend, and I'm just like, they don't even try to hide the fact that they're not really hitting their heads with the table anymore. It's just like, ooh. I don't know. I think that they've giving up, just trying to hide it and make people believe it's real anymore.
Yeah.
Even though the act.
I don't know. It's all, I mean, I think most of those guys, none of those guys want to get hurt really bad because most of them want to have some type of movie or TV career spun off out of some type of success. So back in the day, those guys were taking serious bumps and were pretty banged up, and God knows what else they were on during the time as well. But they were, most of them weren't looking for something past wrestling.
I'm just I just want to get to the point where Roman Reigns loses the belt. It's been like 3 to 4 years now. This is ridiculous. You know he's gonna win every match now. Then they have this stupid head of the table tribal war between him and The Rock, and
I think they oversaturated a while back too. It was like it's like once a week was fun, twice a week okay, and then it seems to be, I don't know, after a while it feels like it gets oversaturated a bit, and it's like how many multiple storylines can you be running when they're all basically the same storyline?
You got three nights of WWE wrestling, which is insane.
Yeah, that's a lot.
How do you even? I don't know. I know there's dedicated fans that watch everything and keep up with it. I can't. It's just a lot.
Yeah, I'll stick with watching hockey.
Next up, Hayden Christensen is reportedly set to return as Anakin Skywalker in Ahsoka 2.
Okay, so
we're gonna get more Force Ghost.
Are we gonna get Force Ghost, or are we gonna get
After Image?
We're gonna get I don't know. I won't say World Between Worlds, but
I was hoping Don will be here for this.
It's fine. I didn't dislike Ahsoka. I just thought it felt like a big trailer for season 2. By the end of it, I was like, oh, nothing really happened.
I didn't watch Rebels until after Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And it made sense. I can see where
it helps contextually.
The drop off and the ratings went down towards the later episodes, because it's not meant for the casual fan at all.
No, I'm a big Thrawn fan. I love it. I love Thrawn. I wish he wouldn't look like he, probably had too many buffets at the Sizzler, but it's still Thrawn. I thought Rosario Dawson. I understood after her little thing with Hayden Christensen. I was like, okay, I guess I get why they were having her all for the first handful of episodes. And then you kind of have a turn, but her action sequences and stuff like that were sad. They were sad. They look like an old woman.
I don't know what the director was going for with the choreography for the fights.
Everybody else looked fine with the fights. I was fine with everybody else, and the fight sequences there, but hers just felt just slow and labored. I mean, just everything. It was like. It just felt, for Ahsoka, you wanted some badassery, and I felt like I didn't get badassery out of her character specifically. But
she was her playing Ahsoka is fine. Hopefully they step up the her action, speed it up a little more. Hopefully,
they could have just sped it up. They didn't even she personally didn't have to do anything special. They could have just sped it up. Or you could have used stunt doubles in there just as easily. But I don't know. I have a problem with larger universes and stuff like this. I like self-contained stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I like a story where I'm going to get a story arc and I'm going to get some type of resolution. I kind of want that within a season of a show. Start it off, give me some type of reasonable story arc, and then start the next season with a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end of a new story arc.
Yeah.
But I don't know this because not just because you're going to have another season of this, but because it's within the larger Mandoverse, because it's, it's leading to a movie. It's just like, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to make that kind of investment anymore.
It's, like you said, season 1 felt like a trailer for season 2. And I think Mando season 4 is going to feel like a trailer for the movie. which it really is leading right directly into the movie, I believe.
And that's what most of these like. That's why Mando season 1 was so good. It felt good. It felt like I got all these little kind of, you know, I mean, if you want to say Lone Wolf and Cub type stories.
Yeah.
And you kind of had the story of him getting Grogu and kind of bonding with Grogu a bit, but you had these good little one-off little action adventure episodes, which were fun. But then once I thought, they thought, oh, well, let's just make this a whole universe and build this out and do a lot of things with. Then I just felt it gets more of a let's tease this because this is going to show up in 3 years, and let's tease this because this is going to be in 4 years.
Yeah,
I don't really care that much.
This whole Mando movie it's a great idea, but at the same time, you could do a lot more in a season 5 of Mando than in a two-hour movie.
Yeah, I'd be fine. I'm fine with a movie, but just shit it out, get it done. I don't really want to wait for a build-up in however many years into a movie. I don't know. It's all kind of bored. I'm excited for the Acolyte. I just want something different out of Star Wars. I'm just like I said, I'll watch whatever crap they put in front of me. I'll eat the shit sandwich. But I'll watch no matter what. But I just kind of want to be interested. I want something different, something new. So
it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the character Baylan Skoll. Are they going to? I know a lot of people want Liev Schreiber to be cast in the role because Baylan Skoll became a fan favorite. Probably was the best thing about the Ahsoka series.
He was well. I mean, it's Star Wars, so of course the villains are always the most interesting characters. It's the way Star Wars works. Even though he wasn't necessarily bad guy, it's kind of falls somewhere in the middle, because working out to what his, you don't really get the fulfillment of what he was really going for. You have theories and things like that, but I don't know what they'll do. As long as they don't do some stupid, hey, we're going to bring him back via CGI and some dumb shit like that. I mean, if you recast them, fine. People forget about shit. You can recast them and people bitch about it for the first episode, and then they'll forget about it. And they'll be fine with it. If it's Liev Schreiber's a fine actor. It's no.
I will say this. I know people love the whole the Jedi lore and Siths and everything that goes along with that, the mysticism, the religion. Andor has by far been my favorite Star Wars.
It's the best
out of all the TV shows. It was written so well. Acting was top tier. Visuals were just insane.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a solid, well put together series. And I mean, granted, I know a lot of people were like, why should I watch this? I know what happens, but it was well done. Got an interesting story out of it. And, it'll be interesting to see what they do in season 2. If they can keep it up.
Yeah. The Grathi says Shatner is angling to be James T. Kirk forever. He wants a deal.
Tiberius Kirk is William Shatner. End of story.
Yeah. It's funny that Shatner wants that deal because I was just reading that. I just thought of the whole thing with Kiss, and we'll be playing in concert forever as holograms.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. Just virtual reality. Just pull up a James T. Kirk in your living room to hang out, talk.
It just amazes me that they haven't really pushed movie-wise outside of the either Next Generation or the original series cast type, Enterprise type centric Star Wars or Star Trek movies. Because of any franchise, it's like Star Trek went directions. I mean, you had Voyager, you had Deep Space Nine that fans really loved.
Yeah.
And, those were gambles at the time, but there was definitely an appetite for that once those shows were there and people received them exceptionally well, but they never went movie wise to really push something else.
Yeah, I think they missed the opportunity. They could have did a Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Next Generation crossover movie. That would have been amazing for me. Because some of those Next Generation movies, I was just like, oh God, why?
Yeah, that's a time period too. That time period was, those movies were what they were. We did get a young Tom Hardy though out of it, so that was fun. In Nemesis, true. But I don't know. I always kind of wanted you just take me further. You could take me further. It's okay, movie wise. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
I know they're continuing the Kelvin movie universe for 1 or 2 more movies. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. It's been 8 or 9 years since the last one.
Oh yeah. I don't know if there's appetite for huge budget movies anymore though. No, I don't. A lot of these things are going to have to be done on the cheap, I think.
Yeah. Wow. Shatner's 92. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
God.
Yeah. He's still on the con circuit. That man. No moss grows on that man, under that man's feet.
It's so funny. Growing up, watching Star Trek, watching T.J. Hooker, watching The Practice. Was it The Practice he was on? Practice?
He on Boston Legal or Practice? The Practice. I think it might have been Boston Legal, which was a spinoff of The Practice.
Yeah. And
I know my dad, Kelly.
Then you don't see these actors in anything until you hear that they want to do something like that, want to be immortalized in digital or AI, and you realize, wow, they're old.
Yeah,
you don't expect. I don't know. You just like even when actors die, you're just like, wait, what? How old were they?
I saw a picture. I just recently saw a picture of Gene Hackman because he just had a birthday. And oh my God, he's like, I forget what he was, it 89 or something like that. Because he quit acting a while ago and retired from acting, which I didn't even realize he'd retired from acting. It's just, it's the way actors are. They're just not in movies. You just kind of forget about them.
Yeah.
You see them in movies, but you forget that they're not in anything new. And I saw him. I was like, oh, Gene Hackman's gotten old. Because in my head, I'm still thinking, more recent things that he was in. But
there's I'm a huge Billy Joel fan, always have been. And hey, watch it, buddy. That's music of New York right there. And
DUI champion Billy Joel.
Anthony's moving out. And I saw there's a meme going around on Twitter and social media. So he's gotten so old, and the thing that he holds for his harmonica around his mouth. They're comparing that to when Darth Vader takes off his helmet.
Oh man, I feel that way when I see Dylan. It kills me because I love Bob Dylan to bits, and he's still out there doing his thing. But man, it's rough. It's rough to see. It's rough to see him at that age.
Yep. Next up, Disney live action Lilo and Stitch film is seemingly moving from Disney Plus to the big screen.
Oh, no
Another story for
there.
Dom. Thank you, Dom.
Again, no surprise there. I mean, they're doing this with every Disney animated movie that, from the 90s and early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
They're looking to make live action because, well, number one, it's a cheap and easy cash grab. You've a built-in audience for those characters. But
yeah, because all of the fans of this are now adults, and they probably have families of their own now. So
yeah, and I mean, Lily will be cast as a 40-year-old man who identifies as a toddler, and We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We can get Dom to play Stitch.
Oh my god!
Sure
I just feel bad because he loves Lilo and Stitch so much, and if they do any type of weird casting or anything, he's going to lose his mind, and I don't want to see that happen.
He's going to have rants for days.
But
hopefully it's on our show. Either one of them. I would have pressed you for that.
I mean, in some way, I guess this is introducing these characters to a newer, younger audience as well. So, I mean, they want to update things. They're going to update things as long as when they do the live action versions, I would prefer they stay pretty close to within the guardrails of the original.
Yeah.
Because that is the way you promote it. You're promoting it as basically a live action Lilo and Stitch. So I think it helps when it stays closer to the original, just for the simple fact that the people taking their kids were the kids that saw it when it was animated. And it's a nice bridge for the parent to be able to share something with the kid. And when it's similar, it's nice. When it's different, then the parent goes and like, what the hell's going on? the parent gets bitter because something that they held close to them is different for them, and
but then you have the kid that doesn't care and loves it anyway.
Exactly. I just think they miss a nice kind of generational bridge there that would be a nice thing, but we'll see what
Aura Trail says, did any of these live action Disney movies do well in theaters? They've all done well in the theaters. The only one that struggled but had legs was The Little Mermaid. Had legs. And even then,
which was probably the best of the live action remakes that was done. But
I actually loved Don't Hate Me, Chat, Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. I thought it was a really good interpretation.
Yeah, I think the more recent, this is probably one of the most recent live action ones that would get, or most recent of the animated ones that would get to live action. Because most of the other live actions were 90s for the most part, or older, Lady and the Tramp, stuff like that they did live action remake for. Those are obviously older movies. So in those cases, I kind of get the updates because they were kind of dated. Lady and the Tramp had its moments, which were possibly considered dated. So those updates I understand. So hopefully if they did something like Lilo and Stitch, it would be pretty close to the original because you don't have to do much updating. It's still pretty
and with all the publicity and hate that Little Mermaid generated, Disney was smart when they re-released the original Ariel dolls and toys, because it gave people options. They angrily went and bought the original Little Mermaid stuff.
True. Yeah, you did have hate purchases. Just angry, aggrieved purchasing. I'm gonna buy this goddamn White Mermaid. Kills me. Yeah, it's.
I'm boycotting. I'm boycotting this Little Mermaid movie, but I'm gonna go out and buy the original White Ariel right now. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show them.
I mean, I understand for the sake of a show, for the sake of just kind of bullshit and debate and topics back and forth. I get the conversations that come up about it. Actual anger about these things just seems to be a little. I mean, if you're a grown ass man and your day is spent being angry about the Little Mermaid, you probably have some other issues in life that you probably need to resolve. So.
Jedi Johnson says live action Stitch will be terrifying. I've seen AI creation. Yikes.
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch should have a sequel with characters grown up. I agree. Some of these hit Disney movies from that golden age of animation from the late 80s to the 90s, they should have done sequels where these characters grow up, and it could have worked on some of them.
It kind of goes both ways. One, I would say, yes, that's an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I would say most writers suck nowadays, so they would screw it up.
Or we'll get something like Blood and Honey.
Oh my.
Anthony wants to know, will they ever touch the Hunchback? I doubt it, because I I don't think Disney would touch the Hunchback, because there would be too many people upset about it. They'll find some reason to be upset about it.
The specially abled man, unhoused man from Notre Dame.
Yes, special needs person with a slight with a on the spectrum, something like that. It won't be. They couldn't call it Hunchback.
Yeah, it's tough. There's some things they just gotta have in the catalog, and that's where they'll be. That's all you're getting out of that property.
Oh, they did do a sequel. Probably straight to DVD. A lot of these that's true. A lot of these animations had straight to DVD. I know Little Mermaid went to what, 3 or 4 when they straight to DVD.
Nothing did better than the Air Bud franchise. There has to be like 70 of those movies.
Mama says the only one that had a sequel growing up was Ariel. She was a mom and her daughter was the focus. Really? I have to check. Are any of these sequels on Disney Plus?
I don't know. I'd have to look. I don't dig through Disney Plus for much, because there's truthfully not much in that catalog that I have a desire to watch. I've watched everything. When I got Disney Plus, when it first came out, I went through most of the catalog of what I wanted to watch. And I was like, okay. So now I just have it for new stuff. And truthfully, I haven't been in there for anything other than Percy Jackson recently.
There was an Aladdin 3? I didn't know there was Aladdin 2. What the hell? All right. Next up, Matthew Vaughn said he would be interested in doing a Superman Red Sun film with Henry Cavill.
Sure he will, because he's going to lose an ass load of money on Argyle. So, of course, he's going to say he's willing to do anything.
I really love the Red Sun story. I like the animated movie.
It's fantastic.
It's such a great take on Superman landing anywhere but the USA as a baby.
Yeah. DC animation is always best tier for me. I just like a lot of the stuff that they do. So anytime they do any of these, especially when it was a story that was a good storyline, they always do a bang up job on it. So, but I don't need to see it in live action. Would it be interesting? Yeah. Is Matthew Vaughn fishing because he's going to lose whoever made that move, Argyle, is going to lose $150+ million?
Oof.
Maybe.
His last couple of movies haven't really been box office gold.
The King's Man made, I think it was around 150 million.
Mm-hmm. I actually enjoyed The King's Man.
I did not.
Really?
I didn't mind it, but I didn't like. I like The Kingsman. I like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, the second one.
And The King's Man, it had good moments, but it got too weirdly silly at times, which I thought was unnecessary.
I think The Kingsman, they should have leaned more darker humor, make it a little more serious. I'm all for comedy with my spies, but sometimes, come on, spies.
I mean, I'll see Argyle when it comes out. It's free for me to watch, but whoever greenlit a $200 million budgeted kind of spy thriller, even though it's not really a thriller, it's more of a comedy. I have no clue who greenlights a $200 million budget on something like that. Yeah, that was just production budget, I believe. That doesn't include marketing.
No. So I saw that budget. I was like, wait, what? I'm like, why? I'm like, Bond movies don't have that budget.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was like, I mean, the way the theater market goes nowadays. I don't understand how anything with that type of budget gets greenlit unless it's like, hey, here's an X-Men movie, and you know that's going to drag a shit ton of people in, or something big like that. Even minor MCU movies and stuff like that aren't going to have those types of budgets because they can't. They're just going to lose money.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I guess they make it back. Some of it, I guess, you make back eventually, you know, in the video on demand market, overseas, stuff like that over time. But stuff that doesn't have a market or doesn't have a real IP to it, I don't understand.
Degrassi says Argyle might be a secret Kingsman movie. Probably is.
Let's hope it makes more than the King's Man, or it's still losing money.
You know, I don't know. I just at what point do you stop giving directors blank checks with movies before you move on to newer and fresher directors?
With the way the market's been, I don't understand why you're releasing a $200 million movie in February.
Yeah, this would have been maybe, I don't know. I don't even know what audience they're going for with this movie, because it's, you know, I would have said Christmas, but Wonka would have destroyed it. Easter, I don't know. It just doesn't seem a right time to release something like that. Maybe it should have went straight to streaming.
Yeah, I would have had to
cut the budget in half.
$150 million less budget and then dump it in there. Yes, the romance there. You are right. The Romancing the Stone audience. It'll have the same audience as that Sandra Bullock movie with Channing Tatum, where she was the writer or whatever and went down south and he had the protector or saver or whatever. Had Brad Pitt in it briefly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a straight to Netflix movie too. But that's a type of movie. It's a little more than romantic comedy in terms of action.
Vaughn he's always been a hit or miss director when it comes to his projects.
I think he's a decent director. Overall, I think his movies are pretty good. I just think you just have to size it correctly. I don't know.
I wonder how much of the budget went to casting. That was a huge. It is a huge.
Probably
cast.
A good bit. There's a lot of people in that thing. So, but normally when you have big budget casts like that, don't a lot of times a lot of those actors take a little bit less in those cases?
I would think so. With. Let me just see who's in its cast besides Cavil.
You got Bryce Dallas Howard.
We got Dua Lipa, Sophia Boutella, Ariana DeBose, Sam Rockwell, John Cena, Samuel Jackson, Bryan Cranston. Oh fuck! Between John Cena, Samuel Jackson, and Bryan Cranston, there's the budget right there.
Yeah.
Holy, that's crazy.
King Sport Cow, no, I have not seen Ferrari yet. I do want to see Ferrari because I'm a huge Michael Mann fan. So I'm extrememely excited about seeing Ferrari.
Hey, Crazy Joe.
Also, Tokyo Vice is coming back to HBO for season 2.
Which one?
The Michael Mann series on HBO. What is it, Tokyo Vice?
Oh, is it good?
Oh, it's fantastic. Season 1 was really, really great. But season 2 is coming in, I think, February 8th.
True to form, Crazy Joe says Matthew Vaughn is really good, though. Argyle was excellent.
And I don't doubt that. It's probably an enjoyable movie to watch. Yeah. It's still going to lose money. Misleading in which way, Degrassi? I mean, on the lower side or on the higher side? Because Degrassi's noting that 200 million is slightly misleading, and I know Degrassi has a pulse on these things.
Yes, don't know about that, Degrassi. We like to hear it. Yeah. You know, I would like. I don't know. I don't know how much James Gunn wants to expand the Elseworlds part of DC, because as we have come to realize, a lot of the audience gets confused very easily, unfortunately. And
Yes. Yes. Confused, rather. Not the brightest bulbs all the time going to go see these
you know,
movies.
I know a lot of the time, we criticize writing and the direction people these directors and producers take projects. But at the same time, you got to realize a lot of the audience needs their hands held for some reason now, which I don't get. Argyle is a fun mess. The only bad Vaughn movie so far is The Kingsman. Hey, I like that movie, damn it.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Crazy Joe.
Cal says, Tokyo Vice, I watched the first episode. I love Man too. Also,
Yeah.
Cruz is in it. Penelope
What?
Cruz? Which
Penelope
Cruz?
Cruz isn't in Tokyo Vice.
Which Cruz? I don't know.
I don't.
Build the DCU first. Once the foundation is laid, then worry about Elseworlds.
I mean, well, here's the problem. No, don't build the DCU first. We don't need an all-encompassing universe where everything must be tied into everything else. That is absolutely a shit way to do things, because we see what happens with the pandemic, and one movie gets pushed and now you're out of sequence, and now all your other movies fall like dominoes, and everything was a complete shit show. So, oh, there we go. So 200 million was not spent.
200 million. Oh, good.
Well, good.
Hopefully it was closer to 100 million. Can producers take out insurance on box office losses?
I don't know. That would be an interesting.
Not producers. I would think the studios could write some of these losses off on the taxes, probably.
I would think that would be too easy to create some type of fraudulent something there.
Sequence is irrelevant.
I just don't want everything tied together. I'm fine with it. Doesn't necessarily have to be. It can be in the same universe, but be self-contained stories that don't have to tie to other characters and other people that are being in other movies and all that other stuff. You can have one-offs that still take place in the same universe without involving the greater universe.
Up until what, 2000 and whatever it was, when Zack Snyder started his DC movies, no one cared about connecting movies with superheroes. They came out, we saw them, waited for the next one every couple of years.
It's the MCU effect. The MCU was, once the MCU started building all that, and you had a massive story arc, and they did it well. I'll give them credit for it. They did it well. They gave you individual movies where they were still progressing at a little bit at a time, a larger plot, and bringing everything together. But that's a task that's not easily done. And again, if you get interrupted and one movie has to push, then you can't make the other movies because that one has to get out first, and then it ends up coming out of sequence possibly, and you're like, what the hell's going on? I saw this character die already. Why do I want to go see this movie? It's it's a weird dynamic.
And then as we have seen in the last couple of years, some actors can be problematic, to say the least. You never know if they're going to get arrested, if they're going to found guilty of something, or say something stupid in an interview or on Twitter. And to build your whole universe on one character, one actor, it's just dumb to me.
And I do understand we've had connected movies, we've had trilogies before and stuff like that, but those are also pretty straightforward sequential things. You have this one, then you're going to have this one, then you're going to have this one. If you don't have this one, it doesn't impact other movies from being made. Whereas if you have an Iron Man movie and a Captain America movie and another movie from that same IP and a Captain Marvel movie, you have all these other moving parts there, and then this has to go here before these can go here.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're holding up more than just the next movie in a set of trilogy. So.
Degrassi says, I believe the way it's structured, it was $200 million deal with Vaughn's Marv Studios for future Argyle sequels, prequels, and spinoff, with an additional $50 million going directly toward the first Argyle budget. Because I know they just announced a prequel to Argyle a few days before the release of
which now that makes far more sense.
Yes.
Why they announced a prequel for it, because if that was structured that way, they had money in the can to be able to do that. So that makes sense. Thank you, Degrassi. That brings light to a lot of things.
Mama Bear says, putting all your eggs in a basket where a person intentionally picks fights with his fans is a mistake.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, James Gunn, stay off Twitter. Jedi said, if Mickey Mouse Trap does well, can we get a Cujo Goofy movie, please?
Fantastic.
I would go see a Goofy Cujo type movie.
Let's put Goofy in a Pet Cemetery movie. Let's see how that goes.
Cujo remake is titled See That. C period U Cujo.
It's gonna be a Megan crossover movie.
Charles said, it doesn't take much to derail a movie from making money nowadays. It's true. I'm just saying we kind of used to it already. It should be that hard to understand a complete film universe.
It's not hard to understand it. I just think one fuck up of something along the way puts in jeopardy a lot more than just the next movie you're going to make. So, the Kang thing could have been worse, I guess, but that throws things in a way that they're like, well, we had this whole universe planned out for the next 10 movies. Now, do we move forward with that and recast? Do we have to recalibrate? What does that do? That's it. It's a lot of people involved, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. You
got directors and writers associated with things that have written stuff already. It becomes a little slippery slope.
It's heartbreaking for me when I see movies that fail at the box office, because you have so many production and the actors, and if the movie's good, you will never get a sequel or a continuation of a lot of these stories. And a lot of the movies from last year were actually good. It's just people didn't show up.
I'm also not a big fan of movies being written explicitly for another movie. I know it happens. I know we're going to get it. I know it's the way it is with these big things, but because like you said, sometimes you don't get another movie. Sometimes stuff doesn't get greenlit. Sometimes stuff falls by the wayside, and then you're stuck on this weird cliffhanger of that kind of sucks.
Yeah. And Anthony is correct. Also, Apple doesn't care. They have a lot of money.
Well, that is true with Apple. They
really do.
They're not running Apple TV to make money off Apple TV. They're one of the few streamers that doesn't give a shit if they don't make any money off streaming.
Because I don't think they don't produce anything, or they have on Apple TV Plus. Everything is produced by pretty much Warner Brothers and other companies. The big issue that could derail is the fanboys who will get upset if the shade of blue is wrong or the curl doesn't curl correctly. I agree. Yeah, this whole, who cares if he has trunks? Who cares if the suit is blue? Who cares if he speaks Kryptonese or not? Just enjoy the movie.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's a start of something. So
Hey, welcome, Comics Embraced. Apple has had a lot of bombs.
Yeah. But again, they don't really have to give a shit. They have so much money. And again, streaming is just a play for having something on a device, more device time, selling devices. It's just,
If you have Apple TV, please watch Silo. Please watch Foundation. Those are two great shows. Or
Apple
watch
TV's
Fargo. Or watch Fargo with Joel.
Watch Fargo.
Joe.
Watch Fargo. Season 5 is fantastic.
What is that on Netflix? That you keep recommending that?
No, it's on Hulu. Well, it's an FX show, but it's on Hulu.
As long as Superman isn't in a thong, I'm okay. And no bat nipples. No more bat nipples. No more thongs. And let's move on from this. Christopher Nolan says Dune Part 2 is this generation's Empire Strikes Back.
Now somebody's finally speaking some truth.
If to me Dune was Star Wars, then Dune 2 is the Empire Strikes Back. I think it's just a great expansion of all that was introduced to us in the first one.
Yeah,
Hey, you got a little feedback, Sticks.
Sticks is only responding in Morse code. Stream. Yeah, there we go. But
you got to fix that feedback, Mike. Sticks.
But yeah, I'm excited about Dune 2. Villeneuve is a great director. You can feel the vastness and expanse of that, the epic size of that movie when you see the trailer.
Yes, we all want to see Power Girl in live action. Everybody wants to see the window.
Yeah.
Sticks? How was your day?
Pretty good actually. Yeah.
I was what was it? Skew? What was it called? Skew? Some W Skew?
Oh, Wrestle Cues.
Wrestle Cues.
Yeah. Yeah. I went with my son to Wrestle Cues and we got to meet Kurt Angle and we met with Sergeant Slaughter as well.
Nice. How old is Sergeant Slaughter these days?
Sarge got to be getting pretty goddamn old.
Yeah. He was
78 maybe?
He was born in 48.
So
75.
75.
He'll be 76 in August.
Okay.
I'm truthfully amazed he's that young.
He looks good.
Yeah.
Sarge.
I know a lot of people didn't like the first Dune. I loved it. I probably watched it like 4 or 5 times, and I can't wait for part 2.
I love it. I love the way he films it. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. You watch that's like the Star Wars prequels or whatever, and you don't feel the vastness of the filming. This you feel the scale of what they're doing, and it's just beautifully. It's just a beautiful movie all around. I happen to be a Dune fan as well, which helps, but
I was thinking about actually starting to read the Dune books because I've never read them.
Oh, good. Well, that's a rabbit hole. I don't know. That's a deep rabbit hole.
Have you read them?
I've read a bit. It's been a while. In high school, I started reading through and read into it. The thing is, Dune gets really weird. I mean, it's a little weird to begin with, but Dune gets really weird really fast, and really weird. So, like this is very straightforward. Like what we're getting in Dune Part 1, Part 2 is pretty straightforward. And not too crazy, but where it goes later is
weird. One thing I will say, I don't recall a time when you had directors and actors chiming in on projects they don't have anything to do with.
I mean, I think the way Dune was shot is shot in a way that I think Nolan would appreciate as well. So I think it's probably more of a nod to the director than it is the content in a lot of cases.
Six, were you a fan of the first Dune?
I still haven't watched it, but I had planned on watching it before the second part came out.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch it all as a whole. I'm hoping for a double feature, actually. So,
Oh, nice.
I mean, it's far better than the sci-fi series. Not that the sci-fi series
the
was
Sci-Fi
bad,
Channel
but
series was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
I watched that. That was
I did as well when it came out because I was like, "Ooh, Dune."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't get past the first couple episodes of that.
no.
I mean, the problem is if you're watching, especially the first movie, if you're watching it and expecting some big pew pew, super crazy action type movie, you're not going to get Dune. Dune is a slow, quiet movie for the most part. The action sequences are beautiful and amazing, but it is a quiet, slow movie, and it is very story driven. But again, beautifully shot.
Yeah, from what I remember from the books from reading it a long time ago, they were very political based to a point.
Yeah.
So,
but isn't wasn't all sci-fi movies political based back then? The books, in books,
yeah,
movies,
in ways, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's always a hint of. I mean, like Star Trek has some in there.
Yeah.
You know, Star Wars has its own political. It's not like a real life political.
Yeah,
but it does have political drama to it. But it's just not based in a reality of like we do. Like you'll have like with Star Trek, it was in the beginning it was race. You know, Kirk and Uhura kissing and Klingons being the Russians and things like that.
But it was never thrown. It was never thrown in your face that's what they were doing. That was the nice thing about Star Trek originally.
They weren't.
Because they weren't allowed.
Well, no, they didn't have to. They crafted good stories and allegories that could show universal truths without having to throw it in your face. A lot of directors nowadays, they just throw it. They'll just say it and throw it in your face because they think you're stupid.
Well, that's going back because the audience need their hands held. You know that, so they have to. Not everyone is smart enough to get everything. It has to be laid out with a presentation and PowerPoint and.
Doesn't that make good writing if your writing makes the audience think about what they're watching instead of saying, "Hey, this is what we're telling you." Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
It's like watching that horrible, what was it, Tommy Lee Jones volcano movie? At the end, there's like all the ash is falling from the volcano, and little girl comes out and goes, "Look, we're all the same color." It was just like throwing stuff like that in your face. It's just like, come on, you could do better than that. It's just, come on. Be better, writers. Be better.
Yeah.
But,
hey, Dave.
To me, Dune is film. It feels more artsy in a way in terms of the approach that's taken to it, the way it's filmed, the way it's shot, the way they're handling it, the way it doesn't feel like they're just trying to shove action in for the sake of action. The fact they're willing to let it be quiet and slow and dialogue driven, which I know some people bitched about that aren't necessarily Dune fans, but I don't know. I think it's extremely well done.
Degrassi says Kenneth McMillan portrayal of Baron Vladimir Harkonnen in the 1984 Dune scarred me for life.
The only problem I have with that particular portrayal of Baron Harkonnen is the skin disease thing they had going on. Doesn't actually come from the books.
Yeah,
but
Lynch be Lynch.
Yeah, Lynch has got to make the villains look as horrible as he can, which is slightly disturbing.
That movie. Lynch hated making that movie.
Yeah, but I will say this: I did enjoy the '84 version, but I have to say Denis Villeneuve's version was a little bit more, to me, closer to the books.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
And
it's far more beautiful to look at.
And now they're talking about a third movie to this Dune thing.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I also hope the Sisterhood show gets made.
You know, I think he said he has to go out into the snow and have a dream about doing the third movie or something to
Yeah.
that effect. He said on Twitter.
Well, okay. So my history with Dune
Sweat lodge.
my history with Dune goes a little bit farther than my love of Star Wars. My dad was a huge fan of Frank Herbert, and I actually read the first Dune novel at 11.
Wow.
And aside from the my dad had a huge library of sci-fi and fantasy novels and stuff, and he started reading them to me and my sister when we were really young. So I had a more than normal for my age learning curve when it came to reading sci-fi and stuff. The only thing I had to have my dad really explain to me about the whole Dune thing, at least with the first book, was the politics of it. I didn't quite get the politics, but so I've 48 now. I've been reading Frank Herbert's stuff most of my life, and the Dune, out of all of the stuff that Frank Herbert wrote,
yes,
Dune would have to be Dune would have to be like my second favorite up there with Star Wars.
It gets crazy, especially once his sons take over writing. But it gets weird. I mean, it gets weird pretty fast after you get a basic introduction of a pretty basic, straightforward story.
Yeah,
with the original, it takes some curveballs there.
when they add the mysticism and the the prophecy part of it and all of that, I will say that Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, was it Kevin Anderson that wrote those books with him? Anyway, when he completed the series after Chapter House, he was doing so at least with those books from his father's notes, because Frank Herbert left copious notes for the possibility that he would pass away, because he figured he would never finish the series. Okay, I did not know but still, it's the sentiment's the same. I hope they actually make it.
That'd be nice. I do agree with Degrassi, though. Everyone should watch Jodorowsky's Dune. That documentary is one of the best things.
I've seen that documentary, and I kind of wish there was. I kind of wish he'd gotten a chance to make his movie.
It never could have been. I don't think it ever could have been made. But
why is that?
The budget would have been way too expensive for the time.
Yeah, I mean, Mobius did the storyboards.
Oh,
really? Mobius did the storyboards,
and
plus
what?
Plus his version of Dune, had he been allowed to make it, you would have had to have been tripping balls off shrooms to be able to understand it.
Yes, it was.
It was going to be way out there, dude.
The fact that one could say that Lynch toned it down is a crazy statement to make, but Lynch toned it down.
But I actually did my English thesis in university on Frank Herbert and why he got into writing the stuff that he did write. He has a very environmentalist bent to a lot of Dune, with the way they talk about the planets and everything. And of course, you had Liet Kynes, who was the imperial ecologist, and all of that.
Storyboards, Mobius.
Yeah,
it's all Mobius stuff. It's amazing.
It was an incredible idea that, like Joe said, could never have been done. It was just way too far out there, and probably would have been way too expensive, because he was talking about making this in the 70s.
Jeez.
Yeah, the scale of this and the craziness of this was so over the top for the technology at the time that it was unmakeable. But I like to see a director that dreams big.
Yeah. It definitely was going to be colorful. I'll give it that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these, and look, there's a lot going on in these storyboards.
Yeah. Well, that's Mobius for you.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah. Also, keep in mind, just in general, if it wasn't for Frank Herbert writing Dune in 1965, a lot of our modern sci-fi may not have actually happened at the way it has. George Lucas even talked about being influenced somewhat by Frank Herbert's Dune, as well as Seven Samurai and stuff like that. But it's impressive how much Frank Herbert's story influenced modern day sci-fi.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's still one of my favorite in terms of sci-fi. I just there's an attention to detail with it that I just appreciate.
And so I guess that's a good point to go into flaming hot covers for next week. Well, this week, new comic book day. We have top 10 covers, just pure cover buys.
Oh, have we talked about the books you made us read this week yet?
Not yet. We got number 10. We got Godzilla Valentine's Day Special, the 1 until 10 Bellhound variant. I love this cover.
Interesting cover.
I love how many books there are going on right now. There's a lot of different Godzilla books floating around, or Kong books floating around. There's a Kong series going around now as well. And you got this Godzilla series, you got DC crossover series. It's great.
They're really pumping out the Godzilla books.
Yeah,
It's hot.
They
It's still
are
hot.
definitely.
That IP is hot. Doesn't matter what.
I question as to why Godzilla needs a Valentine's Day special, but hey, I'll give it a look.
And if you're not into Godzilla, there's always Notzilla. Beer makes them grow.
Godzilla. Yeah, make them grow.
Oh, no, I need that.
There's that as well.
Oh, my God. All right. Thanks a lot.
At number 9, Thundercats number 1, the 1 in 100 J. Lee Virgin variant. We're going to get into some Thundercat covers a little later. All because there are 72 covers that are releasing for this book this week.
Didn't
702.
everybody's favorite cringy 90s artist didn't everybody's favorite cringy 90s image artist do a cover for this as well?
Yes,
and I heard on a stream this week that was one of the best Thundercat covers I've ever seen by Liefeld. What?
Well, I guess.
Well, to be fair, it's his first one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, has he done any other ones?
Has he done anything else in the last 10 years?
I don't know where that bar lies then.
Has he? Yes. He's given us Big Breasted Cap.
Oh, yes.
I love that cat cover.
High lung capacity.
I watched a video on the history of comic books that actually made the devil's advocate argument on how that wasn't out of proportion.
Yeah.
It was 20 minutes of, and I normally like the guy that made this video, but that was 20 minutes of, huh? Like, how could you justify that? That's not in proportion.
And the fact that he redid it for Falcon recently, it was just sad.
Wait, where is it? Oh, here we go. In case you haven't seen Big Breasted Cap.
That's just there's no way you could justify that. That's not in proportion ever. And the guy tried to argue that it was an angle thing, and I'm like, no, it's not an angle thing. It's wrong.
Explain to me how your shoulders and your crotch are that misaligned.
Well, also, if you look at the far side of this cover, it looks like he's blown his pectoral out on that side.
Yeah.
And it's just hanging there loose, you know.
He's got that Cody Rhodes injury.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I had a friend show me that. I have a friend that's been getting me back into wrestling more and more here lately, because I haven't watched any wrestling since the Attitude Era. But he was showing us a video of that Cody Rhodes thing where he pulls off the thing and it's all bruised right there. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh my.
Yeah.
And here is the Winter Captain America Stan Wilson.
Oh God, why?
I
Why?
don't know. Who keeps
Because
commissioning
hey,
him?
say what you want about the guy. The guy doesn't give a shit if you think it's hilarious or awful or whatever.
He
He'll
doesn't.
put this out knowing what it is, and he'll sell them, and people will buy them, and he will
Yeah,
make money. Yes.
He
Yeah,
knows you'll
it's
buy them.
He doesn't
because
give a shit.
it's because he has people that are his fans that are still
He
terminally
has
locked in the 90s.
He has a dedicated fan base, and if you ever see his whatnot sales, he'll have 200 people in his lobby watching him
Oh,
draw
Yeah,
and
and I don't
binge
want
on
to
coke.
look,
And,
look,
well,
look.
100 of those are trolling him as well. But
I don't want to. Look. I don't want to make it look like all of his followers are horrible, horrible individuals that are breathing my air. But
I don't. Then stop now.
but a lot of them are not good people. Okay.
I mean, the 90s were the 90s. They were what they were with comic. I love Stephen Platt. You know,
Look.
But
A lot of good things came out of the 90s, and I understand the nostalgia for comics in the 90s. I still look at comics in the 90s with rose-colored glasses, but I have to also look at it logically. It was a very sexist, problematic time period for comic books.
I
Yeah,
mean, there was good stuff that came out of the 90s. There was bad stuff that came out of the 90s.
And keep in
That's-
mind, I am
That's every
somewhat
decade, though.
of a Liefeld fan.
I'm
A
sorry.
little bit. But like
You don't like feet, then?
no, no, look. That man
You unclose with lots of pouches.
Uh,
and ginormous shoulder pads and guns that are bigger than the person carrying them.
Yes.
all right, let's move on to number 8. Number 8, we have Ultimate Black Panther #1, the Boss Logic variant.
That's a great
This
cover.
is a beautiful cover of Okoye and T'Challa's daughter. Beautiful cover.
Has that been confirmed?
Yes. All right, confirmed by the chats.
That's not
good.
confirmed.
Okay.
Has this there was a character a while back in X-Men comics back in the early 2000s that was implied to be from the future that had sort of a mix of Storm and T'Challa's powers. This isn't that same character, is it?
No,
Okay.
no, because this is the what universe is this? 6160.
I don't keep up with the numbers.
One of these. It's
I think it's OU812.
It's the Hagar universe.
Yeah, the Sammy Hagar universe.
Oh, you 812. Oh, ha ha ha.
She's not from the Lee Roth universe. She's from the Hagar universe.
Artrell, I would advise you to show up to your LCS 15 minutes before they open to grab these covers.
Yeah.
And
If you know that your LCS puts them out Tuesday night, go Tuesday night.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I have a feeling this will be like Ultimate Spider-Man was. I think just based on the buzz of what Ultimate Spider-Man was doing in terms of its sales, I wouldn't be surprised that people follow suit on this, just because that's the type of industry it is. Whether that holds or collapses immediately or what, I don't know. But I have a feeling this will move well this week.
Here's going to be my question for Ultimate Spider-Man, though. Did it pop after people read it or before?
Before.
Like, was it? Yeah, I mean, I know these things moved before.
But it did.
But then once you moved the story, then it popped up more, right?
It sold out before, but then a couple of days later, that's when the price jumped.
Right, after people got to read the story.
Again, though, it's the weirdest thing because it's the A cover that moved the most. Not the ratios, not it was the A cover that really moved. So
right,
take that for.
And it seems
people had a lot of them.
I usually shop on Midtown Comics, and I totally forgot this was releasing next week, and all of the A through D covers were sold out. The 1 in 10, the 1 in 25, and the 1 in 50 were still in stock. Well, 1 in 100 or whatever it is. They were still in stock up until like yesterday. So people, I don't know if the people are hoping this pops like Ultimate Spider-Man, But I would advise anybody that's looking forward to Ultimate X-Men.
Mhm.
This is FOC today. Try to get your FOC orders in tomorrow
Right.
by midnight at your LCS or T4, Things from Another World, or any other site you use. Because
Copy.
between
DCSB or whatever.
between Ultimate X-Men and then combine that with Momoko, that's not going
I
to
don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing there, but
it depends.
Teach his own.
As we
Yeah,
found out, there is a Momoko has a large following.
I have a
Oh, yeah.
short box of Momoko stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it's her earlier stuff, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
Her earlier stuff really has been some of her better stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So number 7, we got Fire and Ice. Number 6, the Lyrics Lee Sweater Weather variant.
That Jack Frost?
And again, all you normies shit on
Not
cheesecake,
anymore.
but
That's not
DC,
cheesecake.
that's not cheesecake.
Oh,
That's cheese.
That's just good girls having fun in the sun.
I don't shit on cheesecake covers.
A lot of people shit on cheesecake covers, but again,
it's not
Marvel and DC have no
cover.
problems.
It's not
dipping their toes.
cheesecake covers itself.
I mean,
it's the way people take cheesecake covers and covet it. Not Joe. Joe is a respectable cheesecake connoisseur.
Guys, remember the Marvel swimsuit covers from back in the 90s?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, my love goes back to Golden Age of
I
art,
like
so
I like a lot of the what I've heard called good girl covers or whatever are really nice, and there's a few that I would like to hunt when I have the ability to.
Yeah, this is probably one of the better sweater weather variants they have, I think.
But this one is cute enough that it will probably be popular. I like it.
It looks like anime.
Yeah, I like it, and
Well,
you've got
lyrics.
you've got the happy anime ice snowman back there that's leering at their backsides.
Yeah, I think does the snowman show up in all the sweater weather variants? I think he does.
Yeah, I believe so. You know, all is needed was for Ice to be going like this with bubblegum.
Yeah.
Welcome to Smallville. Okay, so this is from the Welcome to Smallville run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fun little series.
It's been fun.
It's been a cover by series for the most part.
Definitely. At number 6, we have Sensational She-Hulk number 5, the 1 in 100 Villa Lobos Virgin variant. Ooh.
My God, there's something about it's so close to Hughes at times.
There's something that has to be said about a 8.5 foot tall green muscled bound chick. I'll wipe the drool off my mouth. I've always had a thing for She-Hulk. Sorry.
I'm amazed that they're doing a 1 in 100 out of a Sensational She-Hulk series that hasn't had that much of a buzz to it or anything. So that's kind of interesting to do that. I'm guessing this won't be the easiest thing to find.
I've been meaning to pick this up and read because I do like She-Hulk.
The She-Hulk book that I remember was the John Byrne run from back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best run.
I love that run, but I've heard okay things about this series.
I haven't read this current one. I read the last one that went through. It was fine. I was mainly just buying it for all the Jen Bartel covers because they were all really great. And when you have
hilarious.
When you have a cover artist going through and doing covers on everything, it's fun.
Hey, Strange Marvel Theory, welcome.
Hey, what's up, Strange Marvel Theory?
Crazy Joe, if only there was a con in Florida willing to give a whole panel to weak men who are intimidated by She-Hulk. Oh, wait.
Oh
God,
God.
Joe. You've been causing trouble all week, Joe. At
Hey,
number 5.
he's not wrong though, Bruce. He's not wrong.
The series was
We
awesome.
got
I love the character, and I enjoy the comic. The series was
Batman
awesome.
142, the David Finch variant. I love
Hmm.
Joker and Batman on covers.
Yeah.
This one doesn't hit it for me for Finch. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. I normally like Finch. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's
Maybe there's too much space up there at the top. No.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I prefer when he's drawing Marvel Batman.
Marvel
Moon
Batman.
Knight.
Yes, Moon Knight.
Speaking of knockoff Batman, did anybody see the new announcement? Anyway, I'll talk to you about that after the show, Bruce.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Too much
Too
gray.
much gay, too much gray. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. There should have been either
The Joker-
it should have been nighttime or a little lighter with the color.
My problem with this cover is Joker's purples don't pop enough, and he blends in with the background.
It might just be the coloring for me that's doing it versus the actual art. But I don't know. For Finch, it doesn't hit me for Finch.
The art looks good, but like I said, the colors are washed out, and I'm not fond of that.
Right arm looks a little wonky too. So
Yeah.
it's like it
Like
comes to a
he's-
point, and then the arm kind of comes. It looks weird.
Like he's blown a bicep or something.
Yeah, yeah.
There's muscles to the sides of those abs that I don't know if those muscles exist. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I mean, look at this. It's like 14 muscles there. I don't think that
He's been working.
these exist in real life. I don't.
He's been working so hard his pancreas has muscles. Now.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne, he went to DR and got surgery, right?
No. What really happened is he stepped into the future to a cyberpunk world, and that's bionics, my man. That's like that's dermal armor, my man. Okay.
It's something. It's something.
Oh man.
I'm not gonna say why his right arm is like that. Looking at Nightwing. Let me just.
Yeah.
We got How to Lose Guy Gardner in 10 days. The 1 in 25
What?
yen
Dustin Nguyen.
variant.
I like Dustin Nguyen.
Nguyen.
I like his covers, and I like that cover.
I like
I
how
like-
Barbara's hand is cheekily on Dick's cheeks.
I'm a sucker.
Big
I'm a sucker for Batgirl covers anyway, so I do like this.
I don't know. For some reason, this was just. I like the composition with the pink, grayish, pinkish mist, and they're sitting on the wall, just like, oh look, we're not needed. Bat signal's up there. Fuck it.
I like the okay, this is gonna sound sort of I don't know, weak, but I like the cuteness of this cover. It's just
No,
Dick
it's
and
not.
Barbara sitting there on the building top, and they're just kind of chilling, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not some weird forced Batman and Barbara thing.
I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think they should have hands on Richard right on the cover.
Oh, you mean Dick? No.
Fab has a head full of Nightwing. Of D Nightwing.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Baba Bear.
giving credit to a fellow YouTuber. You know what the female version of Dick Grayson would be, right?
What?
Pussy Grey Daughter? No. Anyway.
That's it. Get out.
I'm not chasing this thing, but in a couple months, if it goes down and is well
I'll
below
definitely
ratio
get this.
price, I'll throw it in a box.
Yeah, I love that. Ritrell says chilling while Gotham burns.
All right. I'm gonna have to do this. I didn't think I would have to do this because Dom's not here. We at Kingdom of Nerds do not condone anything with pussy or great daughter. Let's get away from Dick on the cover. At number 3, we got Poison Ivy, number 19, the 1 in 50 Nakayama Virgin variant.
Yeah, it's Nakayama.
Yeah, it's Nakayama.
Mhm.
This
I
is the
have a-
body swap issue, hence the booty squeeze.
I think a lot of these are going to be harder to find. I mean, we're already at 19, and they're putting out 1 in 50s, like 1 in 25s. Okay, yeah, you'll have a few floating around, but at 19 in this run, putting out 1 in 50s,
Yeah.
probably not going to be too many of them.
I like the pinup girl aesthetic to this cover, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a stickler. Like, I love DC's Bombshells. That was a great
yeah.
series for me.
I tapped the whole series.
And this right here gives me that feel. You know, this cover at least gives me that
You
feel.
know,
So
I thought the same thing. Pin up, 50s hair.
Yeah.
Flowing in the wind. Yeah. Pretty good. Nakayama, guys.
I usually like Nakayama covers anyway. So
At number 2, we got Birds of Prey number 6, the Villalobos sweater weather variant.
no snowman on this one, Joe.
No, it's not in there. I thought,
No.
God, I could have swore they had. Might have been
A
on
couple
one
of the other
ones
ones had. I definitely had it.
Yeah, I love Lobos, but it starts to feel like Hughes after a while.
Yeah, he's starting to look like Hughes.
Which is fine. I'm not going to really complain about.
I do
that.
like
It's work.
the little Cassandra's bat swimsuit she has on.
Yeah,
That's pretty
and
cool.
I have several copies of this coming. So
I like a Russian hat.
I like Black Canary covers. So
I love this. It's great. And the number 1 cover pick for next week, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the return number 1, the 1 in 50 prison variant.
here's the question: does this get diluted by the 1 in 100 con exclusive that came out? It's black and white.
Yes.
Although, truthfully, the color one is far better.
And I think Brian Red 5 picked up a foil of this, and it looks pretty good.
Is this the return? Is this Kimberly coming back?
The
The original Pink Ranger?
The original Pink Ranger, I believe.
Yeah. I used to be a bit of a Power Rangers fan back in the day, so I know some of what's going on. I haven't read any of the comics, though.
Yeah, I haven't. Been so many Power Rangers books and crossovers. It's hard to keep up.
There's Pink Ranger Kickstarter too. I think I had it on one of my Comic Now and Later's handful like a couple months back. I believe there was a Pink Ranger Kickstarter.
I actually like this idea, Crazy Joe says here, to break the mold of a body swap to where the people are swapped permanently instead of being able to change back at the end of the story. I think that would be an interesting story for just about any superhero comic.
And let's take a look. That was the flaming hot covers of this week. So you see them in the comic book store. You can get, if they're open order, grab them. If they're below ratio, grab them. Don't overpay for ratio variants ever. And let's get into what the thumbnail is. The covers that are Thundercats.
Oh my.
This should be fun.
So
As you can see, these are all of the covers for Thundercats.
There's so
Jesus.
We're gonna take a look at a few of them.
That's a lot of covers.
This is the A cover, which is fine.
And to be fair, some of them are versionized versions, and then there's the foil version.
Well, yes. Oh, I mean, it's Dynamite, so yeah.
So
we're
really
3 variations.
cut that right in half.
But 80 plus covers, though.
I think somebody counted it was like 72, 73.
Still, that's too many, dude.
I mean, about half of them are store exclusive.
But that does. Yeah, I was gonna say does that. Are these including the store exclusives?
Yeah, so
Yes.
exclusive and
All right,
and
I'm a little behind. You guys are gonna have to explain to me the whole store exclusive thing. I mean, I get the ratios, but what's the store exclusives?
A store can choose to do a cover for a book. They can partner with the publisher,
yes.
find an artist, and then they can publish a limited run of whatever, sell them straight from the store as a store exclusive.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this because I see a lot of these lately, with various different books. The action figure covers I find kind of interesting.
They're been around for a while.
Mhm.
And they're it used
Some
to
are
be
good, some
special
aren't.
when you saw them, but now it's just like
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've done it for so long. And
Keep
like I
in
said,
mind,
some are
keep
good,
in
some- I
mind,
don't like
I've just recently gotten back into the collecting comic book games, so that's why I
Yeah.
find them fascinating. I don't really know how long they've been doing action figure covers, but
The Star Wars ones they've been doing for a really long time. Marvel had a bunch that they were doing for a while, so there's a good bit.
Yeah.
I like this simple cover. Simple.
Yeah,
Then you got the
I-
Perillo foil.
oh, that one's nifty.
yeah, it's good Perla.
Yeah. We got, do the eyes.
The eyes, Boo, the eyes. Go for the eyes.
And then
Sorry, having a video game flashback.
Here's the Liefeld.
Yep, classic Liefeld.
God, it's so awful.
Faces
so
in the
bad.
background, dynamic pose in the forefront. Proportions are off on the legs, no feet. Yeah, it's classic Liefeld.
This is so bad.
Yeah, I feel like Liefeld did that a lot, like especially at Image Comics where there were faces in the background of the picture.
Yeah.
The Ivan Tao on Chitara isn't bad. It's just the other Thundercats on
The 1
on
in
that.
50 version.
Yeah, it's a decent Chitara, but
Why does it look like Chitara's got her butt on Lion-O's head?
because she does.
I don't know. For
And-
some reason, it looks like
Busting
like
out some
Lionel
meow
doesn't
mix
have-
right in his ear.
Lionel doesn't have any teeth. Like he has dentures. They took them out.
Ivan,
He looks
Ivan
like-
Tao's faces tend to be a little scrunched like that.
He looks like he's taken his dentures out, but he also looks like he's got a bad smell in his nostrils. Like
Go make me
I'm
some
sad my-
hated, ma.
I think my two favorites are both store exclusives as well. So the open order ones, I was like,
so which ones
Alright.
are the store exclusives?
there's a retailer exclusive.
Here's one right here. This is
I like
from-
that. I like that.
I like Josh Burns, but the third cover in that row, I believe, is one of the ones I like.
This one, the art germ.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a nice
this
art
is
germ.
nice.
It's a nice,
This is
just
really nice.
composed picture of all of them.
Now, see,
good.
this is what Liefeld has tried to do most of his career, but he never gets right. I'm sorry. Should we play the Simpsons meme where you hear the person getting beaten to death off screen, and the kid's like, "Stop! He's already dead."
Yeah. Keep trying. As long as people are buying it, he's trying.
Then I really like this one. The MegaCon exclusive. It's black foil, red foil.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
There's another great retailer exclusive with Chitara running and Snarfs. There it is, right there. This is probably my favorite one.
I like this cover.
I think that's just
yeah.
fun.
This is not only fun but kind of cute, kind of pin-up-y
Yeah.
too. Really,
Yeah.
it's kind of got a pin-up feel. I like it.
And then
Can you
we'll
tell
do-
I like pin-up covers? No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then you got the Barons. I didn't like this.
I don't like the I like the regular colored one.
Yeah,
of
the regular
Barons.
cover's fine.
We lost the cover. Oh god.
It looks like an action figure.
It
Yeah, it
does.
does.
I really like this one.
It's good, yeah. It's good, yeah.
You know, there's quite a few. There was a lot of store exclusives for this, as you can see.
Just so
I
many store
I
exclusives.
I don't know if this
Is that
is
last
done with
one? That last
homage
one.
to Wolverine. Was it
It is.
X-Men 213?
Yeah, that's a Wolverine homage. I I saw that immediately.
Yeah.
This is a Maria Wolf.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't either.
The Mumra one, which you can go down to the event exclusive one.
I want to see the Mumra
What
one.
con is? Yeah, is that from this
Which
weekend,
one?
or is that all the way at the bottom, the last?
Last
one?
two.
There you go.
Black and white.
Yeah, they said. Oh, whoa.
Are those? Yeah, there's MegaCon.
Those are
Oh.
MegaCons, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Those
Dude,
ones
that black and white
Whoa.
is beast, man.
I want the color one though.
That
No.
reminds me that
The color one's
let's see the
nice.
color one. Let's see the color one.
That's
The color was a
crazy.
different
I didn't
picture of
see
Mumra, I
those.
believe.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
it's different.
It's not the same one. It's
Okay, so the black and white one has a very Frazetta look to me.
I know what you're doing, Bruce, but you
Yeah,
failed.
you're gonna be doing that for a long time.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
That is badass.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
That's
I
crazy.
figured that
The
one.
black and white one though has a very Frazetta look.
A little bit, yeah.
Nate Melendez.
Hmm.
Huh. But you get the idea with all the. I do like this one. Also,
Oh
Color
yeah,
class.
I like it. I like Ariel Diaz in general.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Oh,
it always
Crazy
kills me
Joe.
that
Crazy Joe.
the black and whites just don't work for me, or the partial color ones. It's like I know the color is what makes Thundercats for me when I see it.
Yeah.
So the ones that are washed out or different color.
I don't even know. I don't even know what this is.
Is that a Ryan Brown? What is going on there?
Yeah, it's Orion Brown.
Ew.
Yeah, this is bad.
Ew. No. Make it stop, Bruce. Make it
It's
stop.
It's a travesty for that cover.
Make it stop, Bruce. Make it stop.
Who's this? Another. Oh, here's another Rob Liefeld.
Oh God, Rob. It's such a Liefeld face.
Okay, I see what he's trying to do here,
Not
But
draw
he's-
torso and arms.
but he's completely cocked this cover up. He's trying for an ElfQuest kind of style thing going, and he's completely shot the whole possibility of that even looking at even a homage to ElfQuest.
You know, he drew Lionel like Pharaoh.
He
Yes,
draws
he
everything
did.
The same.
Hmm.
He draws
Yes, he
every
did.
face like
Yeah, you
it's
can see
Rob
that.
Liefeld.
You can kind of see
And
that hairline in there.
If you
Of
put
course.
every face that he draws, put it next to a picture of Rob Liefeld, you'll see that Rob Liefeld draws Rob Liefeld every time.
Wonder it sucks.
I wonder if he when he's at his drawing easel, if he's got a mirror showing his face and he's making
I think so.
screaming he's making screamy faces at the
Oh,
mirror
this
so
is-
he can.
This is nice.
That is cool. I like that.
Yeah, I think he does use himself for reference a lot, at least for face.
Well, but I wonder if he's sitting there drawing and he's all like,
Probably.
screamy faces.
Aren't I beautiful?
Enough Thundercats.
Is that Natalie Sanders? That last one?
Yeah, Natalie Sanders.
Yeah, I like that. I like that last one you showed, Bruce. That was a good cover.
That was a great cover. I think that's Common Mint. We got some hard to find video game sales. We'll run through these. We got System Floor released in 09 for the Nintendo DSi. Sold for $10. Some games. Complete in box. We got Face Training
Someone said that's a
Oh,
Liefeld.
2007.
Have we reached the bottom of the barrel? What's going on here?
Sold for $30.
I
I
am
did not-
so sorry. When I looked at that second picture in there and looked down, I thought it said "tits your head forward." It says tits your head forward.
I will have my video game specialist amp up the game. Amp up the game. What's what happens when you give people free reign? We got photo showdown. Released in
Someone's just fucking
09.
with you this
DSi.
week.
So $45. People love DSi games. And
I actually
next up,
I
we
actually
got
bought
Picture
all 5 of
Perfect
my
Hair
daughters.
Salon.
Okay.
My daughter may have had this game. I'm pretty sure.
All 5 of my daughters had this game on their DSIs.
Hey, for $90. That's
Well, if they still
that's
have it,
something.
you can sell it for $90.
Or you can just go play it and go cut hair.
Yeah,
They just-
one of my daughters actually does the salon thing for professional work now. So
Oh,
All
there you go.
you
It
gotta
worked
do is
out.
tits your head forward.
You know, it's funny. I forgot. I totally forgot the DSi had a camera attached to it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
my
3D
daughter
imagery.
my daughter works at a salon in New York City for like high class people. She makes a crap ton of money.
It's an amazing profession. It's like a plumber or electrician. You can go anywhere with it, and
It's just like my profession. I work in the funeral industry.
that's
Yeah.
also an industry that's recession proof.
Yeah, because people are always gonna die.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Actually,
on.
sometimes it's better in the recession. More people die.
a little
Moving on.
gallows humor. Sorry, guys.
Next up, we got some variant hunting. Some variants you might not have known that exist, or you may have wanted these. Some of them are super expensive. Some of them are super rare.
We are going to hunt the variants now.
We got Star Wars Annual number 4, the 1 in 25 JTC variant from 2018.
I don't like it.
It sold 9/8 sold for $1,000 on
Jesus.
the 23rd
Yeah.
of January.
It is
I don't like.
definitely one of the most expensive negative space JTC
Yeah.
negative spaces.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's all right.
He started to mix up the negative space a little more.
And this is his early. You can tell it's an early negative space. It's only really the Star Wars logo and the saber that kind of bleed in.
Yeah.
It's not like he did a black cover with just kind of like we only see like the gray of Vader with an kind of a fading outline. But
Yeah.
Degrassi, they're talking about Rob Liefeld. He goes, he does have tiny little feet like his drawings.
Ouch. Next up, we got Bloodshot Reborn, number 10, a 1 in 100 Lemire variant from 2016. This book hasn't sold since like Raw since 2018, and a 9/8 sold for $70 in 2022. I love these notebook covers.
And I love Jeff Lemire, but yeah, people aren't really rushing out there to.
It gives
hunt
kind
for
of
Bloodsport
a.
and Bloodshot.
I used to have friends that would sketch like that in high school on their notebook. I mean, I get what they're doing, what they're going with, but like, yeah.
It's not an expensive book if you can find it. That seems to be not showing up on eBay, or people are not listing them.
There can't be that many of those out there.
I doubt it.
2016.
A 1 in 100, number 10 of
I don't know.
Bloodshot.
Yeah.
We got Wolverines issue number 3, Parallel variant from
Love that
2015.
cover.
I do like this one. I definitely do like this one.
It has a fine sold for $40 back in December, but a graded copy 9/8 hasn't sold since 2022, and back then it was $123.
That's actually not bad for a graded 9/8.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was 2022. Prices have come down a bit. I mean, it's basically a $40 raw. That's basically what you're probably going to score it for online.
What do you
So
think? The ballpark.
85,
What do you think a graded one would go for?
85, 90 probably. People probably try to sell it. People probably try to sell it from between 100 and 125, but realistically, if somebody sells it at auction on an off day, you could probably pick it up for 80, 80 to 90.
We got Uncanny X-Men issue 19, the 1 in 50 Campbell. We had a 9/8 sell for $550 on the 29th.
I like that. I'm fond of that cover.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's issue 19, a 1 in 50 Campbell. Oof.
Yeah, but it is X-Men.
Yes.
People loves their X-Men and people loves their Campbell.
Campbell,
And
X-Men.
every uniform in that is a skin for each one of those characters in a game called Marvel Future Fight that I play.
Oh,
And it's the issue 19.now, not straight up issue 19, which is there is a difference there, I believe, when they were doing that Marvel Now stuff. Marvel did some weird numbering at certain times with some of the stuff.
Yeah.
25, 1, 2, 3. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And finally, X-Files Ghostbusters Conspiracy issue
I love
number
this
1.
cover.
The Joe Corrine Incentive from 2014. Graded 9.8 of this book has not sold since 2015. A raw copy anywhere between 120 and 180 back in 2021 and 2022. People are holding on to this.
There's not many of these out there either. No. This is a frequent ghost. You don't see it very often.
Dude, I'm gonna have to look up this series. I didn't even know this was a thing. X-Files and Ghostbusters together. Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Just check that site.
But this is this is definitely a book that you could sell for a good amount of money just raw.
And next up, time for some comic reviews.
Woot.
Duke number 2.
The one.
What did you guys think of this issue?
I wasn't
Duke
impressed.
2 was the one I didn't read.
I wasn't impressed.
I read Duke 1 and carried it through, and I was angry at the scene where he was literally 5 feet from 70 people firing fully automatic weapons at him.
And nobody could hit him.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
Look,
it's not the A-Team, it's G.I. Joe.
I'm actually liking the Cobra Commander book better than this one, just to be honest.
Yeah, it was just like you get introduced to a couple new characters in this series, and I don't know, he should have been dead.
Yes.
A lot of blood loss, and he's traveling across the country and meet up with someone, and he should have been dead.
Yeah, I like the way the story is progressing better in Cobra Commander than I do Duke.
Same.
You know, I am still a little. I don't know if I like the art interiors or not, but
the only payoff of this, I didn't read it, but I scanned through it enough, was the little tease at the end.
Yes,
there you go.
I didn't even see that, so I made it about 4 pages into the book and went no.
Let's face it, as G.I. Joe collectors, that's what we want. We want Baroness covers.
Of course, to be fair, I'd read about 20 comic books that day by the time I came to Duke number 2, so I really wasn't interested in reading much more. I might give this one another look, but still, I don't know. I wasn't impressed.
I see where this is going.
Duke number 2.
And I don't know if it's going to be great, but I see where it's going. So
I mean, look, if the Baroness is going to start showing up, then maybe. I've always liked her character, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep following along. Like I said, I'm a little behind with it, and just kind of scanned it. But
this is a mini series anyway, right?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Next up, Trinity Special number 1. Had a great time with this book.
I love that Mitch Gerard's cover.
Was awesome. I liked it.
It's a bunch of reprinted stuff, but for the most part, but
yeah,
it was well put together. If you're going to reprint stuff, this is the way to do it. You got a good idea of who the character is and enough context around that to understand who the character is and where they're moving with these characters.
I love, even though they all have different parents, they still consider themselves siblings.
Yeah, that was great. Brother, my sister.
That and John being basically the straight guy for the group is kind of ironic.
Yeah, Damien definitely was comic relief.
Damien was played as the comic relief. It's great.
It was hilarious when John grabs his mouth and says, "I'm gonna." he tells him to shut up, and Damien spends the next panels saying ways he can kill him. I'm gonna kill you. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna kill you afterwards.
Yeah,
So,
it's
I don't know if
during
it's gonna
the
be kryptonite or magic.
it's during the black when she's got the plant attached to her,
The Black Mercy.
the Black Mercy attached to her, and he's like, Damien, you can be the gloves.
He's like, you're gonna break my ribs.
You have no joy anyway, Damien. You can be the gloves.
I mean, I think Super Sons was a fun series.
Yeah.
And it worked well. And a lot of people like Super Sons, and they got really pissed when they ended up aging up Jonathan.
But at the same time, people like Super Sons, but no one was buying the book.
I'm just saying though, people liked it, so I can see why adding, because once they moved to Jonathan, nobody was buying Jonathan Kent either as Superman. After the first issue, second issue, that those sales fell off too. But I think this is a great way to pull this character, an older Damien, Trinity, into good storylines and reignite the interest in this age group of characters.
I actually like the fact that I like the changes in their uniforms. Like we've seen this Damien uniform before in like future stories. I think Batman 666 he was wearing that.
You like Batman looking like he needs some glow sticks and ready to go hit a rave.
Yes.
Oh, I love what she does as a little kid to Killer Croc. That's so hilarious. Damien's like
the doctor. That was great.
Damien's like, well, Croc might survive, I think. Now, I will say this. I saw some people making some comments, and it's the usual suspects. Oh, she's a girl boss. Oh, she brags too much. I'm like, let me point out, she's half a god.
Yeah, she's son of Diana. She's daughter of Diana. So, I mean, yeah.
Does she have to say she's better than Damien and John?
Yes, that's a
little
sibling.
Kids do.
It's a sibling rivalry.
And somebody made a point. Well, she was raised around Damien, one of the most insufferable characters ever created for comics.
Yeah. And again, this is all reprinted stuff that's been out there.
Yeah.
For the most part. So all you're getting is a nice compilation to give you an idea of who the character is moving forward. So,
and I actually like Lizzie. I think she's got potential as a character, especially the scenes where she's standing there, having to do the same challenge that her mother did at her age. Yeah, with the gun pointed at her.
You get very different Lizzies in this. Mm-hmm. You get the kid Lizzie. You get a more adult Lizzie.
Which child Lizzie is insufferably adorable.
Yeah.
Wonder Robin.
But it set it up very nicely, I think, to have the concept of these three in more either series together or separate series or a lot of crossover stuff where you're establishing some of these future heroes.
Okay, so at the end of this book, it says her story will continue in Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Is that a new ongoing Wonder Woman, or is she?
No, the existing Wonder Woman that's going on. It's on 5 or 6 right now.
Okay. 5.
All right, cool. Because I like this character. I want to pick up this story. And out of the 20 or 25, between 20 and 25 books I read this week, this was probably one of the top 5. I liked the youthful exuberance to it. I liked that it's not had to be extremely dark like a lot of people like comics these days. I like it.
I just thought they did a nice job of just putting together enough out of what's been printed to give you a good primer on a character, which is nice.
Yeah, it's definitely an appetizer. Let me just put it that way.
Which
Sticks,
should tell you
read this?
No.
Sticks, you should get it. If you see, you should pick it up. It's a really great read.
Yeah.
It's a fun read. It kind of harkens back to like. It's got a little bit of 80s cheese in it, but there's enough of a good story behind it that it's interesting.
I'm trying to wrap my head around Batman using his utility belt to make his cape look like a London fog.
Yeah.
So,
It's
So
gonna rain
does-
today. It's gonna rain.
anyway,
So my
rain's all
question
done in
is,
Gotham.
like, does Batman's costume kind of look like a mix between Batman and Roz?
Yes, that's what it
Yeah.
is.
It's kind of
His
it-
father and his grandfather.
even though he knows his grandfather was an asshat, he still designs
Oh,
himself after his grandfather.
His father's an asshat as well. So
True. I mean, he has to be descended from two of the most pretentious people ever. Roz and Bruce Wayne.
And with that, the next book, we Avengers Twilight #2.
I
love this series.
I like this story. Okay, let me just say I like elements of this story. I like what if stories. I will always say I love what ifs and Elseworld stories because you get to see characters that you love in different situations. And I love that Cap has stepped up, you know, and taken the super soldier serum again and everything. But God, did he fuck up in this issue?
Oh yeah, he did.
I mean,
I'm Captain America. People will listen to me.
And I just love Luke Cage slapping him upside the back of the head when he's being the whole "woe is me" bit. Luke's like, "Shut up!
You're Captain America. Move on. Let's go.
Get your head back in the damn game, damn it!"
I'm happy. I'm happy with the series so far. It's interesting. It's a fun read where it's 2 episodes in, and nobody's told me I have to read 7 other titles and 6 other series that have been going on for 2 years and whatever. I can pick up first issue, second issue, and read a story. And
I will say,
I find that refreshing.
I love how the art style's kind of Earth X in a way.
Yeah, I think it's drawn really nicely. It's written well. It's not too wordy. It's not too sparse either. You get enough to move the story along.
And the revelation about the Jarvis quote unquote character being the Red Skull was interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that the supposed head of Tony Stark is actually Ultron.
Yeah, that was like, wait, what? Ultron?
Huh? And by the way, I want to strangle the little pipsqueak. The Tony Stark and Van Dyne's son. No, Jimmy. I want to kill him.
Such a piece of shit.
First of all, he looks like a Legion ripoff with the freaking hair thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to think about it. Stark himself was a pretty huge asshole. So.
Yeah, but Stark grew out of that for the most part.
And his kid, who apparently doesn't have his father and mother around, and has all that access, all that, you know.
Oh, I love how he tells Jarvis, that he isn't going to put the armor on, and I'm like, yeah, you will. You're a Stark. You'll definitely put the armor on.
It was.
I have to say, one of my favorite characters in this story has got to be Luke Cage. I love how they're portraying Luke Cage.
I was a little surprised they killed off Matt Murdock as fast as they did.
Yeah.
Just kind of off screen. Oh, Matt's dead.
They off-screen whacked Matt Murdock. Isn't that a little bit, I don't know, sus?
But I mean, it's interesting because you don't really know who you're going to end up getting. I really liked the introduction of the older Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
I thought that's going to be a cool character to see at an older age and, you know, a little more mature and battle worn.
And of course, they're teasing her for the next issue.
Yeah.
But, you know, one more thing before we move on to Pops, though. Another really good book I read this week was the second part to Sabretooth War. I actually liked it.
Not read any of it yet. I've stayed away from almost all X-related books and Wolverine books and stuff like that. I should get it. I should read more.
I have to pick that up and read it. I read the first one. First one was really good.
This second, you're in for another good one, Bruce. When you read the second one,
I do know there's a gift box involved.
Yes.
I know that. I saw that somewhere.
Tiny spoiler. The two kind of really like clutch characters in the Sabretooth War Part 2 book.
Really?
Jeez. She's trying to make with the blushing from the panel. Anyway, no, but like the two characters that are kind of cameos, but they come in kind of clutch during the story is North Star and Aurora.
Ooh. Oh, that's right. They were heading that way.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got some pop sales. I figured since it's Grammy Day, do some singers and artists. We got Post Malone, number 2253, autograph, sold for $200. People love their Post Malone.
Oh, Bruce,
guess.
I'm gonna have to go. I've got the other show, so
yes.
Take care.
Have fun.
Take it easy, guys.
Next up, we got a little Michael Jackson, number 26, sold for $175. Little Mikey.
They don't even tell you what outfit that's supposed to be.
Isn't that the
Well, his hair isn't on fire, so it's not the Pepsi commercial one.
No. It's not Captain EO, is it? It's not the Captain EO one.
It got to be in the 80s.
Yeah.
Probably the Grammys. No. When he presented with Madonna. Was it Madonna he presented?
But he had a black one on then.
Oh.
He had a black one on at that point.
Then we
Still
got
had a sash, but it was a red.
Notorious B.I.G. number 18, so for $149. Looks nothing like Biggie.
Ain't getting a signature on that one.
Nah, no signature on there.
It just looks like a older Sluggo.
It does.
Oh, jeez. We got Ozzy Osbourne, number 12, sold for $450.
Why are you giving me old Ozzy? Come on, man. They could do better than that.
You think?
I don't want old Ozzy. Nobody wants old Ozzy.
Nobody wants that Ozzy.
Yeah, nobody wants that Ozzy.
Sharon.
Sabbath Ozzy.
And finally, we got Paul McCartney, the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, number 28, sold for $230.
I would be interested to see which of the Beatles from that, if they made all of the Beatles, I'm guessing they would if they did a Yellow Submarine series, which of the Beatles sells for the most.
Probably not Ringo.
You never know. They might have shorted on Ringo, and
no one wants him. Don't make so many.
Very true. Next up, we're gonna move on to new comic book day picks. Some comics I recommend for this week for you to pick up and read or start to read. Batman 142, which starts the Joker War. Joker Year One. Sorry about that.
I was gonna say, how many wars is Joker gonna have this year?
It's retelling Joker's origin yet again. This is going to be the definitive origin. Last time they do this, allegedly.
At least it's done by Zdarsky. Chips decent writer.
This is gonna be his real origin for real this time.
For real this time.
Until the next time we do it.
Until we need another event to
we'll redo it again.
And then we got Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, number 3. Your favorite serial killer bear returns for issue number 3.
It'll be interesting.
Couple Siamese cats there.
It'll be interesting to see if this starts to really fall off because of all the Ultimate hype and people jumping on the Ultimates, whether this kind of holds or can fall off there.
Then we have Nil Before Zod, number 2. It seems like it's taking forever for this issue to come out.
It did. It felt like we read number 1 a long time ago.
I know.
I hope they do a little better with the interior art because it was a bag of shit last time. The story was
make
fine,
action figures of Ringo's wife that will be in trouble.
Yeah.
Shazam number 8. Mark Waid is writing this book. It has been fun, very fun read so far. I believe he's leaving the book for a very special event that's coming up.
Wade doesn't do it for me.
Really? You don't like Mark Waid? Hmm. And of course, we got Thundercats number 1 releasing this week, and Ultimate Black Panther 1 releasing this week.
That's what I got a feeling is going to be the banger, as the kids say, this week is the Black Panther.
Black Panther is going to be lit.
Yeah, it's
Gonna be dope.
I say it's interesting because of what Ultimate Spider-Man 1 did. It just test case wise, it's just going to be very interesting to see what this book does. Which covers move, what
It's going to be the hizzle for the shizzle.
Yeah.
Move it away.
I mean, there's not that many. There's not a huge amount of covers with the Black Panther.
There's 7.
There are
7.
No one grabbed retailers. Were there retailers?
I'll check now.
But I mean, the winner out of them is definitely that Boss Logic cover. I mean, that's hands down the best cover, but that's not the A cover.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see whether this ends up being a cover by.
I like the A cover. I mean, the A cover is great.
Yeah, A cover.
Yeah, it is. But the Boss Logic cover is just.
Boss Logic always.
It overshadows all the other covers.
We have the A cover. We have Boss Logic.
That's the one.
We have the bow.
Okay.
We have the Foreman.
Yeah.
Then
kind of
we
Spider-Man feel
have
to that one.
the second printing.
Already?
Of course.
What the hell?
Yeah, but that won't be out tomorrow.
No.
Wednesday,
I do like this cover. I like this cover though. And of course, they're going to do a 1 in 25 without the border.
Yeah, that's the way it normally works.
And then the 1 in 10.
I love their 1 in 10 design variants.
Design variant, yeah.
Then we have the 1 in 25, Ethan Young.
I couldn't help myself. I picked up some Ultimate Spider-Man 1 in 10s.
Oh, really? Nice.
They were only $15, and I was like, sure, why not? Nobody's bought into them. I was like, well, maybe the ratios will go up and A cover will go down at some point.
Yeah, we got the 1 in 100.
Yeah, like you said, that Boss Logic and I think the Boss Logic and the A covers are really the 2 better covers. Some of the covers look like Spider-Man rip-offs anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that kind of throws me away from wanting to buy that one.
Yeah.
I'd rather buy a Spider-Man book if I want a Spider-Man. If I want someone in a Spider-Man pose, it's going to be Spider-Man, goddammit.
I love that Ivan Rodriguez Amazon Attacks cover so much.
And we got some FOC. These, put your FOC orders in by tomorrow night, guys.
See, we get nice reminders for some of these because I had that Ivan Rodriguez, I think, about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So we're constantly reminding you, people, watch these shows. You get all the reminders you need to get your book.
So I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear you on New Comic Book Day in March. We didn't know. I missed it.
Yeah.
So we got Penguin number 7, the Martina variant. That's the cover B. We got Harley Quinn number 37, the 1 in 25 Danny incentive. We got the Amazon's Attack number 5, cover B, the Rodriguez. Nice covers.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe the Penguin series is still going.
Yeah.
We got Power Girl number 6, all cover buys, guys. Cover D, the Braga sweater variant, another snowman.
By the way, the Power Girl 6, the Dan Penosin 1 in 25 is not easy to find at that Power Girl. So.
Which one is that? Number 6?
Number 6, the 1 in 25.
Oh, jeez.
I haven't been able to find it.
I'll have to
where
look
it's
for
not been sold out.
Even T4?
They didn't have it on Tfal. They didn't have it on Midtown. So,
Jeez. We got the cover E Cohen variant. We got the 1 in 25
There it is.
Panosian incentive. That one.
that's the one.
That's special.
I want that so bad, and it's killing me because I love him as an artist, and I love Power Girl covers, and I'm just like, I'm pissed. I'm sitting there looking for someplace. I'm like, shit, I'll pay ratio for it or a little above if I have to, but I'm just having trouble finding it.
Wow. Wait, when is this release? Oh, hold on, let me check.
It's
I have to put a reminder for this.
is it a March? I think it's March release, late March.
The twins look a little freer on this cover. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yep.
It could be you.
I'm all right with it.
Uh,
Not a complaint, by
actually,
the way.
it releases on the 27th of this month.
February.
Yes. That's a great cover. That one is.
Yeah, I want it really bad, and I'm pissed off that I saw it late, and now I'm just like, shit, I can't find it. I'll keep looking. I'll find it eventually.
That cover smells like carrots for some reason.
Oh.
You see the nose, the carrot nose is pointing up.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy. We got Detective Comics 1092, the Cavil cover A, Flash number 6, the Suicide Squad kills Arkham variant. Then Batman First Night number 1, cover C, Aspinall pulp novel variant. Nice.
Yeah, his always.
This is an oversized book for anyone wondering.
Yep.
Magazine
black
size.
label.
Mm-hmm.
But the covers on First Night are fun. They're very, very fun. It's your Batman 1920s, 1930s looking. It'll be fun. It's there's some really fun covers.
Next up, we got some Duke number 3, the 1 in 25 Betrayed Tease incentive with Baroness.
Baroness.
1 in 50 Kershaw incentive.
Crazy Major Blood.
World Tree number 8, the 1 in 25 Corpse incentive. This is just, that World Tree cover is just like insane.
World Tree has some amazing covers. The series has some really cool, crazy
Reminds me
covers.
of that scene in Terminator when he's in the mirror and he takes his eye.
Oh, yeah. And I think this Baroness cover is going to be a very big hit with people.
Yeah, well, I don't know why Major Blood looks like a descendant of Captain Hook, but
yeah, it's a little Dustin Hoffman in the face there.
Yeah. Like we know he's bad. We don't need to look like a 50s villain with a handlebar mustache. I'll leave you on the train tracks.
Next up, we got Aliens. What if Aliens number 1 Perillo variant?
Do we really
Scotty Young variant
series?
And the 1 in 25 scan incentive.
I don't get this. Yeah. What if the Nostromo never landed on the planet?
What if he never got infected? Or never, I don't know. Actually, I'm a little curious to see where this goes.
This is a series by Paul Reiser, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how he still has clout to get a comic book series done, but
I think it's just his character from Alien. Not him. I don't think he's involved in it.
Well, no. What? No, he's one of the writers, right?
He is?
Yeah, I believe he is.
Yeah, he's one of the writers. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know whose buddy had to kill.
Stick to Matt about you.
Yeah, well, we saw where that went.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Paul Reiser is one of the writers for the series.
Him and his son.
No, there we go. Okay, that
Leon Reiser, Hans Radioff, and Adam Goldberg are the writers for this.
What about his other son, Peter Reiser?
Get out of here. Jeez. We got Miss Marvel Mutant Minutes #1, a 1 in 100 Villa Lobos Virgin variant. The Red Sonja #8, the 1 in 15 Barons incentive.
Okay.
And the Perillo Limited Virgin variant.
Yeah, I like the Barons has been doing some really cool Sony covers, and I like Lobos doing a fun cover. And it's a fun
interesting.
cover.
I think it's like, ooh, it's all gonna wind up in supersized alien NATO issue, chainsaw included. And now we have a few. Mark Brooks is doing covers, headshots. We got Captain America 7, Avengers 11, Sensational Hulk #6.
The only thing I can say about that is at least they're not Todd Knock headshot covers.
Thank you. Yeah.
They're okay.
It's the corner variants were cool when he did those. These just like I could care less.
We got Weapon X-Men, and then X-Men 32. Yeah. And next up, we have a little spec. Maybe you should think about buying the next comics. Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the 3rd printing Pacelli.
That's nice.
Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the 1 in 25 Chiquetto incentive.
Yeah, I think it's Chiquetto. Yeah.
Yeah.
3rd printing. Let's go. 1 in 25. They're gonna charge $80 for this on Midtown, and it'll be $150 by the time the weekend rolls around.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe I'll pick that up locally. I'll order it from my local guy.
Ooh. Maybe I'll tell my local guy. Maybe my local guy's your local guy.
No, it's not.
Oh. Yes, I thought maybe.
I don't know.
We got some Ultimate X-Men. We got the cover A. We got the Momoko variant. We got the Ruan variant.
Yep, pretty on brand.
Then we got the Inyak Lee Armor variant. Then we got the Mark Brooks variant. Are you guys counting? How many covers so far?
5 so far.
We got the Cola variant. Still counting? Okay.
Yep.
Then we got the 1 in 10 Momoko Design Incentive. Then we have the 1 in 25 Aka Incentive. Then we got the 1 in 100 Lee Virgin.
That's the same cover.
I know.
It's not a new cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make that half.
Then we got the 1 in 100 Brooks Incentive Virgin. I know. And next up, a little indie spotlight. We got Dawn Runner, #1, cover A by A. Cagel. We got cover B by Bergara.
And please do not look at who those creators are on there. You got Dave Stewart, you got Ram V.
Ram V.
So
everybody loves Ram V. We got FOC Reveal by Cagel.
We got
the 1 in 10 Lotte.
Lotte.
We got the 1 in 25 Black and White Cagel foil. Yeah. So I'm going to be picking this up because it's Ram V, and Ram V has been doing a great job on Detective Comics.
I'll probably get the Lotte because I collect Lotte covers. So
nice.
And I'll say,
boys, I got to run. I got dogs scratching at my door, and I don't want them pissing in my hallway.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up and hanging out with us. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. We will be doing a special memorial remembrance for Carl Weathers during our Monday Madness. So have a good night. Take care. And let's go Taylor Swift. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Somebody needs a backer.